What is up, everybody? Circon is here bringing you guys another advent calendar day. We're almost near the end. We're day 21 out of 24, and this time around is actually sort of a new tank, but it actually isn't. It is the KV 122. A tier 7 heavy for Russia, because the Russians don't have enough heavy premium tanks yet. I think they only have about 8 or some shit like that. But yeah, obviously I have not played it. I will look at the stats and give you my opinion on it thus far. I have not played a single game. This is just purely going off by stats, comparing it to other tanks, and seeing it if I like it or not. Obviously, the thing that they sell here is a bundle for 50 euros. That's only 10% off. Not worth it. You do get gold and not credits, which is nice, and A and stuff will probably get credits again. But who cares? Who cares? Just don't buy the bundle. Buy it separately, and separately it is 23 euros and 20 cents. That is roughly the price of a tier 7, if not a bit cheaper than the two tier 7s that are for sale right now. It's a little bit cheaper, but you know it's already getting dangerously close to just getting a tier 8, which will be a better bang for your buck, like literally any day of the week, because tier 7 matchmaking is absolute 8s. So, the KV122, what the fuck is it? Well, and the 3D, the garage model will maybe give it away a little bit. It's basically a KV1, or the old KV1S with the 122 at tier 6, with nerfed DPM. So yeah, it's basically that, but it's at tier 7, so the hull is pretty damn weak. The hull is like 84, 71, 71, 83. I mean, this is less good than a Tiger 1, and we all know how easy it is to kill a Tiger 1. Side armor is actually not that bad for its tier. It's 60, which is decent for maybe side scraping and stuff like that. The turret itself also not that great. Remember, you're tier 7 now, and you know, outside of this, you can just still shoot it right in the face. As long as you don't hit the angled parts there. The turret is, as you can see, quite angled here. So the turret is kind of safe-ish, but you have to use your weak spot on top as well. So it's a more agile IS that trades hull armor and turret armor. While the turret is probably sort of equal. It mostly trades the hull armor for more speed. You can see this more clearly as we take a look at the comparison between this and the IS-2, and I got the premium tank because, well, they're both premiums at tier 7. As you can see, the DPM is quite a bit lower. I mean, this is almost reaching 2k, this is 18.34. So you have a reload of 12.75, which is quite long, instead of the 11.79. However, the gun handling actually gets better, whilst the accuracy is the same. So it's still an extremely derpy shot at 0.44, but I guess you will make more fully aimed shots with that accuracy instead of being less aimed and still having that accuracy. So it's still going to be slightly better. Elevation is notably worse by about 5 degrees, but you know, you don't really need more. You don't really need elevation. Doesn't really matter too much unless it's extremely shit. I think at 20 it still be fine. It actually has a gun depression of 6, and funnily enough, when I check the model, it actually clips the model. It goes through the fucking log on the back. So well done on the model in there. That is very good. A lot of thought and care went into this one. So gun version 6. Now here we go. This is basically what is a little bit of the interesting side. That it goes 42 kilometers an hour. With 700 horsepower, which is 100 more, giving it 15.14 power to weight, which is, you know, quite a little bit better than the IS. And the train resistances for soft is also better. The other train resistances are the same. The turret affairs is also better, complementing the, you know, the higher speed, the higher top speed. And so is the tank traverse. However, as we can see here, the hull armor is only 75. It's basically the KV1. I think it's KV1 hull. Compared to the 100 of the IS, and the IS is also better sloped, especially in the IS-2, as we saw during that advent calendar. It's quite a bit better. It does get 10 more fuel range for some reason, which will help out at that tier. And when you're fighting tier 5, 6, and 7s, that 10 meters will actually kind of help. So yeah, is it really worth it? I don't think so. I think that the IS-2 will still be a better purchase. Because you also get the really nice crew with that. It's only slightly more expensive. And as always, tier 7 matchmaking is just so bad around things. Like, I think you should really avoid it at all costs. And playing premiums for credits there does not seem like a good idea to me. So is it worth the 23 or 20? I don't think so. I'm sure a lot of people will still buy it because it's like, oh my god, it's the old KP1S. And then they don't realize that it is a nerf reload. And it, it's a tier 7, which it will get brutally slaughtered by any tier 8 or 9. Because that's kind of the difference between tier 7 and 8. I feel like tier 7s don't handle tier 6s very well. You know, tier 6, a good tier 6 medium like a Cromwell can still fuck up a tier 7 heavy tank royally. And, but tier 7 versus tier 8, becomes a little bit more difficult. And tier 7 versus tier 9 is dreadful, whilst tier 6 versus tier 8. I feel like in a tier 6, I can do a lot more versus tier 7 and 8s than I can in a tier 7 versus tier 8 and 9s. Because tier 9 vehicles are basically tier 10 vehicles that lack a bit of either DPM or, armor or penetration on the guns. But they usually have already all the high alphas, the mobility and stuff like that, especially on the mediums at tier 9, they get really brutal. There's a huge step up from tier 8. So I think tier 7 matchmaking is just too brutal. And the tank itself, comparing it to other tier 7 tanks, like the FV, the Black Prince, the MLE 45. I mean, this tank will still be better than probably all of those tanks for the game that is Royal tanks, even though they all are totally different tanks. The Black Prince and FV, totally different tanks. But if you compare it to the other tier 7 that got released, the DPM is even lower there, although it does have more base pen. And, obviously the kind of handling stuff is way different. But really, are you having a lot of fun at tier 7? I personally don't think so. I might be slightly jaded from past experiences. Maybe some people out there really like their tier 7s. And even then, I would probably recommend the Berlin Quartet IS-2 over the 122. However, I have not played the game. This is just simply looking at the stats and comparing them. So I would love to hear your comments, your thoughts in the comment section down below. Maybe some people already bought it. It's still relatively early. If you do, maybe share your experiences with it. And let me know. Amazingly clipped model here. Very good, very good. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and maybe check out more videos. I'll put up some IS replays because they're the most similar to this tank, I guess. I think I have a couple of those on my YouTube channel. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Peace out.